my God.
What's up, guys? Since I guess I'm in rant mode, I'm going to go ahead and make this video now. I told one of my subscribers that I would do so here it is. Alright, so I want to talk about the evolution of RC. And I don't know, this is probably going to make companies, more or less, not basically people, but people do tend to be brand friendly. Like, they do tend to have a favorite brand and then, you know, defend that brand no matter what. But here we go. Okay, so with going back to the backflips, what I said about the backflips was that they were basically a copy of the Proline Badlands. And, you know, they are different. They're a different compound tire. They have a slightly different tread, yada, yada, yada. But the fact remains that they are basically a copy of that. And I said in the video on the Outcast that was intellectual property theft, right? And, you know, I got a little flack about it, like people telling me the backflips are different, it doesn't matter, yada, yada, yada. Well, that's the whole problem, is that it should matter, right? Because in the RC world, you know, basically you can buy somebody else's property, right? So if you're a corporation, say I want to see what's going on inside a Castle motor. So I buy a Castle motor. I break it down. I have a technician look it over and tell me what it's made out of. And then I build it slightly different using all the same components and everything, just make it look a little bit different, and then I sell it as my own motor, right? And that kind of stuff goes on, you know, here and there. But basically, you know, that just leaves it open for a total free reign of like everybody stealing everybody else's products. And I'm not a huge fan of that, because I'm not a huge fan of like big business. For instance, Horizon Hobby owns a bunch of stuff, right? So so they bought out Losi, and I'm not the only one that's seen this, but Losi has been progressively getting worse and worse and worse while keeping their same high prices. Now, the fact of that is due to big business. Now, what happens when a big business takes over a smaller company, right? So smaller companies have to worry about reputation and everything. So they have to keep their products at a certain quality to keep repeat customers coming back. But once you get to a certain size, bigger companies start looking at you and saying, look, we should buy this company up because it's got a good backing, it's a solid company, it's making money, so let's just buy them out and take it over. And that happens a vast majority of the time. But what happens when big business takes over, big business doesn't care about you, right? They don't care about the consumer at all. They couldn't give two shits about you or your complaints about their products or anything. They simply don't care. The only thing they care about is that you purchased the product in the first place, because they don't care after that. Once you've bought the product, they don't care, you know. And that's why companies spend billions of dollars on marketing alone, because marketing works, or else they wouldn't spend the money on it. More than likely they spend more money on marketing the products than they do on building any of the products they make. So that's a huge thing with big business, is that they're all about selling you on something, and they don't care what it is they're selling you. They just want the sale so they can put it into their profit margins. And that's what happens when big business takes over little businesses, is you see a gradual decrease in quality, because they start outsourcing. They start buying cheaper and cheaper and cheaper products to put into the item, right? So say you have a high grade of plastic, right? Like a super high grade of plastic, like almost RPM style. Big business will look at that and say, well, this costs this much, but this plastic that is a little bit less quality costs this much. So we'll go with this much to make our profits higher. And then from there, it just keeps stepping down. Basically, what I call it is a race to the bottom, not to the top. Because big business isn't interested in being the best out there. They're just interested in being the best sales out there. All they care about is profit. They don't give a crap about you, me, or any other hobbyist out there. They want to smear their name over everything. So what is that? Well, putting their name everywhere and all the races and everything, it's advertising, right? So you're out there racing around the track, or you're watching people race around the track, and you're like, oh, Traxxas, oh, Losi, oh, Team Associated, right? Now, there are a few select companies that are pretty big in racing that are still privately owned, and they're relatively small companies like Techno, right? Techno is a privately owned company still, and I hope they keep it that way. And look at their quality. Their quality of their kits is just outstanding. But if they got bought up by Hobio or Horizon or some other big company, that would fall drastically. Just just hit the deck, because that's how big business works. So that is my whole rant about why I think that smaller companies selling to big corporations is a bad thing. And that's why I think all of this copying and everything is just not a good thing in the RC world. And I hate to use them again, but Losi is a perfect example. Losi owns the Dynamite lineup, and they also own Spectrum, and that's why you get that stuff with all Losi products, and the transmitters they give with their ready to runs are absolute crap. Big toy grade looking dumb, just crap radios, and then most of the time their ESCs aren't that good. I'm not trying to just pick on Losi here, because I do actually like some of the Losi products, but the Dynamite system, I've had overheating issues with everything I've had that's had a Dynamite system in it. I have had heat issues with everything. So, that's just kind of the race to the bottom for me. That's what I was talking about, how they take something and then trim the fat until you're left with just crap, right? And then market it and sell it as if it was the higher standard. But really, all the standard has been reduced to make up for higher profits, right? And like I said before, that's how big business works. But sorry about kind of ranting today, but if you like this video, give it the thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it the thumbs down. Click that subscribe button if you're new here. If you don't like what I have to say, go ahead and unsubscribe. Click that bell if you want to be notified of any of my newest uploads. Check out the description. You can get a t-shirt if you want to. You can enter into any future raffles with the donation link. It's $5. And if you just want to support the channel, throw $5 in the donations just to help out the channel. Kudos to you. Awesome. I really appreciate it. And as always, this is Gary saying get out there, get an RC, go have some fun, and we'll see you right back here on the next video. Peace.